Okay, this episode I'm doing inside. Going to be talking about the advantages of using lithium iron deep cycle batteries when compared to AGMs, which are glass mat, or the gel batteries, or golf cart batteries, or the marine grade deep cycle batteries. The lithium iron have a lot of advantages over those. The only disadvantage is their cost. You can be dealing about $1,000 for a 100 amp hour battery, but they'll last a lifetime. You can literally get thousands of cycles out of a lithium iron, where the other types of batteries, you're lucky if you get 2, 3, maybe 5 years on some of them. Others I've heard have lasted longer. But the lithium iron will last you 25 years. They're rated for thousands of cycles, meaning discharge and charge cycles. So your typical deep cycle battery, 100 amp hour, you can get 50 amps out of those. And a cycle would be discharging at 50 amps and then charging it back up 50 amps, and that's one cycle. But the lithium iron, 100 amp hour, you can get 100 amps. It's one of the main advantages. You can get twice as much amperage compared to the other batteries. Now, the other advantage is they hold a much higher voltage. Your other batteries, typically around 12.7 volts, would be 100% state of charge. But the lithium iron, you typically get 13.4 volts, so more than a half a volt higher. And that is very advantageous when you're running different loads, because every battery has a voltage drop. When you turn on your load, whatever that device might be is considered a load, you're going to get a voltage drop. And some high power items, even like an electric toaster, can drop your battery 2.5 volts. And then what happens is your inverter turns off, because they're designed to shut off if they sense lower than 11 volts, as a safety feature to protect you from discharging your batteries to a low state, under 50% charge. The other batteries, you'll kill them, literally. Lithium iron, no, you won't. You can drop those down to almost zero state of charge, and it won't ruin them. That's a great advantage. There's almost no way you can ruin a lithium iron battery. The others, you can. If you go below 50% state of charge, you're probably going to ruin your battery. Also, they only weigh about half the normal weight of a lead acid battery. They're very light compared to most batteries. And they're taking up the same amount of space, but half the weight. So that's an advantage. When they're not in use and they're in storage, your typical deep cycle battery, or even car batteries, they drop a charge about 10% per month. So if you put your RV into storage, even if you disconnect the battery, and let's assume it wasn't at full charge, let's say it was at 80% state of charge when you put it in storage, within 3 months, you've lost 30% of your state of charge. So you're at 50% within 3 months. The 4th month, it's ruined. You're at 40% state of charge. You most likely have ruined your deep cycle battery. Okay, but not lithium iron. Again, you don't have to worry about that. Now, lithium iron, the other thing is, other than they don't lose 10% a month, they only lose 1% a month. So even after a year, you've only lost 10%, maybe 12%. Versus the other types, within 5 months, you're going to kill your battery if you're not charging it, every month or every few months. So that's another advantage. The other thing is, I'm using LiFe Blue lithium iron. They're called LiFe Blue. And there's an app you can get for your phone Download it from the App Store. It's called LiFe battery. And on your smartphone, when you turn that app on, it lists all your batteries in your battery bank by number. Every battery has its own number with these lithium ion batteries. And when you look, it's called Smart Connect. And you got to be within about 10 feet of the battery, but it will tell you the amp hours of the battery. If it's 100 amp hour, it'll tell you that. It'll tell you the voltage of the battery. And this is remotely, just using Bluetooth technology. It'll come up on your phone, the actual voltage. It'll tell you the state of charge, SOC, state of charge in percent. So you'll know if your batteries are getting low in charge. You know exactly what the state of charge is. They even tell you the temperature, the ambient temperature around the battery. The number of cycles it's gone through, the number of discharge cycles that each particular battery in the bank has gone through. It has a health thing on there. If there's, any issues, it'll tell you there. It also will tell you when they're hooked up to your solar panels exactly what the charging current is in amps going through each individual battery in your battery bank. So that's a lot of different things, that this app will actually tell you. So at least the LiFe batteries are extremely smart batteries. I mean, it'll tell you everything on this app about what's going on with the battery. That's why I picked the LiFe. I can't say for the other manufacturers of lithium ion if any of them have all those features. Okay, so I think that's most of what I wanted to talk about. The advantages over the AGMs and the gels. Now, if you're not getting enough charging from your solar panels, I have some out here. Those are the Harbor Freight, which I actually run off of these. There's your charge controllers. Each 100-watt panel comes with its own charge controller. And they're only rated 8 amps, so you can't put 200 amps on just one of these. It'll blow it out. So that's why I have 3 here. I actually can hook up 300 watts of those panels. I could switch it out and put in a charge controller that can handle more amps, but I didn't. And the kit comes with these LED, 12-volt LED lights, which are super bright. And actually, they have a switch. So I have my switch right here, and I just Velcroed it into the roof. And it comes with about 25 feet of wire, the charge controller, and a 100-watt panel. And when they're on sale, you can get all that and 25 feet of cord for your solar panel for around 150. I think typically they're around 180 for that whole package deal. But like I say, you're getting 100 watts. You're getting 25 feet of wire to connect the panel. You're getting a charge controller, 8 amp charge controller. You're getting 2 of these 12-volt LED light bulbs, which are super bright. We really like them. Okay, one last thing. If you're not getting enough charging into your battery bank, whatever battery you're using, I installed inside the trailer a regular car battery charger. This is by Schumacher. And it has a trickle charger over here, setting 3 amp, and it has a supercharger 15 amp. Tells you if your clamps are reversed, these all light up. Up here it's going to tell you your charging voltage to your batteries and your state of charge. So if batteries are down 30%, it'll come up on here and tell you it's at 70%. And then when it reaches full capacity, it goes over to a trickle charge. And then here it's got your standard, your AGM batteries, your gel batteries, and the last one tells you if it's a bad battery, that'll light up. Now, when I'm charging I had two different battery banks. I also am using the deep cycle marine grade batteries from Walmart. They're only about 100, 120 bucks. So I have a separate battery bank, and I put them on standard, just like it's charging a regular car battery. And then I'm just running, the clips, the positive and negative clips down to my battery bank underneath the table here. Okay, and then you got the power cord, which is 120 volt AC that you have to plug in. So I have to run this, I have to run my gas generator, and then that powers my outlets inside the RV, the 120 volt AC standard outlets. So I have it plugged into one of those. Under the table, there's an outlet. So that charges my battery bank. It's nice and handy having it inside. I used to have one outside, and I'd have to leave it under the trailer, just in case it rained or whatever. So I recommend this Schumacher. It's been working really good. I've been using this for a couple of years, and I got that at Walmart. I don't remember how much I paid for it. I might have paid 60 bucks or something for it. So anyway, and I always have a little chart. This is your standard deep cycle batteries and car batteries. That's at 100% SOC, state of charge, should be reading about 12.7 volts. 50% is about 12.1 volts, and you go below 12.1 volts, say 11.9 volts, you're going to ruin your battery, basically. So that I have that chart handy, and shows you your state of charge. Okay, hope that information was helpful. I know most of you don't like the idea of spending $1,000 for a battery, but it should last you a lifetime, and you can't ruin those. And like the Walmart deep cycle marine batteries, some of them I've only got 2 or 3 years out of them before they were ruined for whatever reason. If they're not charged up properly, or they get discharged too much. There's all kinds of ways to ruin a deep cycle battery. So anyway, that's this episode. This is Eagle Eric, signing off.